Hey, what's up everybody? Today what we're going to be going over is a review on a Wormhole Shader Tattoo Machine. This is going to be a traditional tattoo machine. I haven't gone over any traditional style tattoo machines in any reviews thus far, so I wanted to make sure I was getting on here and doing those as well for the people that want to go that route. If you're new to the channel, I'm Brandon from Tattooing 101, and make sure you're liking and subscribing down below and hitting that little bell notification so you can be notified anytime we come out with new videos each week to be able to help you guys out. So I received this tattoo machine in the mail today. It did take quite a while to receive it. I think it took about a month to actually get it in. It came in this nice little box, which is super cool. And then you just open it up and see the machine. So I have not done anything with this machine this far besides open it up and put a little nipple on top of it and also put a rubber band. So this is what the machine's going to look like right out the box, besides obviously the rubber band and the nipple on top. So when it comes to the actual machine, I really like the way it looks. It has this cool little, I don't know, it looks like a ram's horn or something like that. But right off the bat, I could see there are a couple things that are kind of like a red flag when it comes to, you know, traditional tattoo machines, like this piece right here being plastic. Anytime you're working with tattoo machines, you do not want any of the pieces to be plastic. They just seem to break. And another thing would be, right out of this box, this machine would not be able to be ran because everything's super loose, as you can see right here. So this should not be able to do this. That'll affect, you know, the way your machine hits, or it might not even turn on if it's up too high, not making contact on the spring. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of tinkering involved with this product right out of the box before you could get into tattooing. But with all these, you know, machines like this, there's going to be some, you know, some things you're going to need to do to have them run correctly, of course. So I'm going to go through here. I'm going to set up the machine. I'm going to also need some Allen keys to tighten everything up, which I will show you all of that on camera.
Okay, let's get into tuning this machine the best that I can. So I'm going to tighten this down and make sure everything's set up the way that it should. It has been a very long time since I needed any Allen keys, so it took kind of a while to find them. All right, let's get into tightening this stuff up, which honestly should have came tightened up. I don't know why they did that, but so you can see that the throw is barely anything, so we're gonna have to adjust that as well. So I'm gonna right about there, and then I'll tighten this little plastic set screw up again. And we're going to put the needle bar into the machine. Okay, so that's another thing with this machine. The hole for the clamp is so small that it's really, really hard to like get this on. This should just slide on, and I'm using a lot of pressure and it is not going at all. So that's another thing to think about with this machine, that your tubes are going to be ridiculously hard to get on. I'm really having to use a lot of force, and that's really annoying. And you can see that this is completely loose. It's not tight at all. So this should be easy to just slide right on, but it's just not cool. So we finally got it on after having to work with it for way too long. Now I have everything set up. You can see that our needles aren't out past the actual tube, but when I press, they do go out. I'm gonna bring it back just a little bit, set my depth right there. Cool. So I'm gonna finally tighten this up and put my rubber band down right like that. So the machine should be good to go. We'll turn it on and see how it works. Now I do have a feeling that this machine isn't going to hit very hard at all, which with traditional style tattoos, you know, I like pretty hard hitting machines, so I can just kind of blast those shadings in there, but let's see how it works out. So you start out the voltage on 5 and slowly work up until it actually starts. So I have a feel for it. I'm running this on exactly a 7. That's exactly what the voltage. It sounded about right. I'm going to get in here and do some shading. This machine is obviously way louder than the rotaries I use, so I'm going to have to stop the machine so I'll be able to talk to you during this review. Okay, so you can see here, I'm tattooing pretty much how I normally would. With this machine, it is not putting any of the ink even remotely close to what I would be normally putting in there with the rotaries that I use. So this machine is just a very light hitting machine. Okay, so I'm really having to go over all of this way more times than I normally would with another machine. So, and you could hear that there are some intermittent times with this actual machine when it's like hitting. Sometimes it'll kind of bog down or like cut out completely. And I know that my power cord is fine. I actually ran my other machine and it had no issues at all. So that's just one thing going on with this machine. That's something I don't want to have to hear whenever I am, you know, tattooing. Man, I will say that after a couple minutes, you know, I've been running this machine for 10 minutes, and now I remember why I switched over to rotary. This machine feels like you're holding a jackhammer in your hand when you're tattooing, and it's crazy because of how light it's actually hitting. So it should definitely, just from the way it feels in the hand, you know, you would expect it to hit way harder than it actually is. So it's telling me that it just doesn't have enough power. It's not like I'm using a big mag or anything. This is a 9 mag. This is like the smallest one that I really use when I'm tattooing. None of my other machines have a hard time, you know, even putting 15s into the skin, something like that. In this machine, I'm just having a fight with it the whole time I'm tattooing. And it's not necessarily that it's a traditional machine. You know, I've used traditional machines for a very long time in my career and got used to using them whenever I was first starting out. But with just how hard it was to get the tube on, you know, it coming and you have to kind of set everything up. This is not a very user-friendly machine if you are first starting out by any means. There was just a lot I had to do. I had to fight with it to kind of get everything down so I would be able to, you know, halfway tattoo at this machine. So definitely not something that I would recommend if you are first starting out tattooing. Picking up one of these would not be beneficial for your career. You're going to end up fighting with it, trying to figure out why your saturation isn't good, try to figure out what issues you're having when it's actually the machine giving you these problems. You know, if you were dead set about going a traditional tattoo machine route, you know, there are plenty of brands out there that have some great machines or builders that make great machines. And for the price point of this, I paid $150 for this. In my eyes, it just wasn't worth that. It's not there for me for it to be worth $150. I've bought great machines for the $200 price range that still work to this day. So when it comes to the Wormhole Shader, is it worth it? Is it something that you should be getting? I wouldn't recommend it. That's my honest opinion. It just had too many issues for me to make it worth, you know, especially someone first starting out, not knowing exactly what they're looking for. This would be a mess to try to set up and tattoo with and tattoo efficiently with. So that would be my review. Thank you guys for watching. And if you do like content like this, make sure you're liking and subscribing down below so you can keep up to date on all of the new content we make each week. And also, would you guys like to learn more about the traditional tattoo machines? Let me know in the comments below if this is something you would like me to show you in depth how to tune or even put together a traditional tattoo machine. Leave a comment so I know and I could think about what I could do for you guys in the future. As always, you guys have a wonderful day.